Right, I think one of the most unappreciated game series for Nintendo is Donkey Kong. And I've made quite a few videos about Donkey Kong 64 and what Donkey Kong 64 on Nintendo Switch Online, and I've made a bunch of videos about that. But I haven't spoken about Donkey Kong Bonanza yet, which is the new Donkey Kong game coming out in July for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, can I just say bluntly, I think this game is incredible. I think it looks amazing based on what they've shown in the trailers. Now, I know trailers aren't indicative of the final product. Obviously, we're going to have to actually play the game in order to tell whether or not it's good. But from what it seems, the game seems to have this sort of like Super Mario Odyssey feel, where it is the next big game in the series, and then realistically, it's actually quite cool to see another 3D action platformer based on Donkey Kong. Because last time we saw this, I believe, was actually Donkey Kong 64 on the N64. So with the Switch 2 being so much more powerful, it just looks better. It looks like you can have bigger worlds, more exploration, and more fun. Now, there are some people criticizing like certain aspects of it, like, for example, there is no Diddy Kong, for example, and we don't know why. The actual reason is, like, people have said it's probably got something to do with, that other guy with the same name, but I don't think it's got something to do with it. I reckon Nintendo just wanted to focus on Donkey Kong for this game, and also you need to factor in, this is the first really big Donkey Kong game in a long time. Like, for those that don't know what I'm referring to, the last original Donkey Kong game, I believe, was in 2014 with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Now, this game is obviously the next big one. It's a 3D platformer as well. And it's also the first game to utilize the new Donkey Kong design. I say first game. I know people are going to crucify me in the comments and say, Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World is going to have the design. Yeah, I know Mario Kart World will have design, but what I mean is this is the first Donkey Kong game using the new design. And I'm actually quite interested to see how Nintendo handles this. Will the game run really well? Because it looks graphically beautiful. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but will it run well? That's what we want to know. Will it run well? Will it, be an enjoyable experience? Which I think a lot of Donkey Kong games are. A lot of Donkey Kong games, they sort of... Donkey Kong, to me, feels like it's a lesser franchise within Nintendo. Even though it's really the franchise that started it all. People were like, oh, Mario, but no. Donkey Kong was the one that started it all. Mario got famous because of Donkey Kong, and then he gave him his own game, and then Mario became bigger. Like, that's just how it worked. But I do kind of hope this game is genuinely fun. Like, that is my big concern, is I want this game to be fun. It looks graphically pleasing to me. I want to play it. I reckon it'll be fun. I reckon it'll be a good time. And that's someone who enjoys Donkey Kong and thinks he's an underrated character and deserves more of his own games. I feel like this is going to be huge. I also feel like this could also potentially lead to a campaign of people pushing to get Donkey Kong 64 on Switch Online, like more people than it already has been, because people will want to play the first 3D platforming Donkey Kong game, but obviously they wouldn't have that option. They'd have to buy Donkey Kong Bonanza instead if they want to play it, or they'll pirate the game. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Are you hyped for Donkey Kong Bonanza? Let me know what you think down below. I've been EC. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm signing out. Peace.